Okay, it's time for an episode of Stevie Rants. I haven't done these in a while. I'm getting bold. Uh, you see what's going on with the media? The left has lost their freaking minds because Trump beat COVID so far. All right. He was in the hospital for what, 2 days? And then now he seems to be getting better. He's on the mend. See, the problem is this destroys their whole narrative. The whole narrative of Trump, of COVID kills, right? They neglect to tell you that 99.5% of people survive and get better. Over 70, 94% get better. I'm not going to talk about the number of deaths. Let them tally that and the number of cases. But you know what? If we tested 350 million people, the percentage would go down. They don't want to tell you that either. So their narrative this whole time has been COVID, COVID, COVID. We got to shut down. We got to shut down. We got to destroy people's lives for the sake of the public health. He destroyed it. He cut a hole right in it. And what he did, and I'm hoping that they're hoping that the other 11 people that it's the spread, it's like 1,000 people work in the White House, maybe 2,000. 11 people got it. And some of them don't even work in the White House. Oh, and the super spreader event of the Rose Garden. Let them scream about that. But when he stood on that balcony and took his mask off, they lost it. They all had instant diarrhea of the mouth because that was the end of their narrative and the beginning of freedom. Now, before you go crazy, this is what this is all about. This is about freedom. And, Joe Biden's going around, you got to follow the science, man. Follow the science, man. The CDC just changed their guidelines for the 5th time. Follow the science. Don't wear a mask, wear a mask. It doesn't spread outside. It'll go away as soon as it gets hot. It stays on surfaces for 3 days. It stays on surfaces for 12 hours. It stays on surfaces for 3 minutes. It doesn't stay on surfaces. It's not airborne. It's airborne. We think it's airborne. Now we're not sure if it's airborne. It might be airborne. It's just the flu. It's no worse than the flu. It's worse than the flu. The science has been all over the place. And Trump had daily briefings. He followed the science. He had Fauci in there every day. He had Birx in there every day. And there were moments where the Fauci was like the media darling, right? And then all of a sudden you didn't see Fauci. Why? Because he agreed with Trump. They had to kick his ass out of the room. You can't do that. Get out of here. They kept having him up on Capitol Hill to discuss and have I forgot what they call it, where they bring him in and interrogate them on Capitol Hill to discuss what happened with what went wrong with the coronavirus. And he said nothing bad. He said everything. But Fauci is he's like a politician. He goes all over. Well, it could be bad and it could be good. We're not sure and we are sure. He has double answer. He talks like a guy that doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. All right. I could do as good a job as Fauci did. Really, was he really that good? If you think about it, if the left loves him and then hates him, the guy's flip-flopping. The guy flip-flops constantly. So science flip-flops, but Joe Biden's going to follow the science. We got to follow the science. You know what he's really saying? What he's really saying is the government will obey what the science dictates, which means the government will control the population and use science as their bad guy. Hey, it's not our fault. The science, not our fault. The science told us to do that. The science said that we have to shut down the economy again. The science said that you can't go to church on Sunday. The science said that the barbershop could open, but the yoga studio can't. You're destroying people's lives based on what? Some made-up health emergency that's only affecting less than 1% of the population? Think about how sick that is. So when Trump took off his mask outside, when I leave stores, I take off my mask when I walk to my car. I don't wear my mask to the car. I don't wear my mask in the car. And when I come home, I take my mask off. I'm wearing my mask right now. Am I killing anybody? He's up on his balcony outside at his house. He's killing people. Really, he's killing people? This is his sickness. that the media has. And the reason why they're so angry is because he single-handedly destroyed their narrative. And now they don't know what to do. They're stuck. I think if I was a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not, what's going on here? This thing keeps breaking. Getting this pop-up. You guys see me? Sorry. If I was a conspiracy theorist, I would go back to when Nancy Pelosi said, "We have arrows in our quiver. We have arrows in our quiver." Ever since she said that, Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. Maybe they shot her with that arrow so they could bring, so they knew Trump was going to bring in a conservative justice and they could fight that. And that could be their new narrative. Oh my God, Trump's going to destroy women's rights and gay rights and the Affordable Health Care Act. What timing to kill Ruth Bader Ginsburg? I think they shot her with an arrow. The other arrow released Trump's tax returns, and that became an issue. And when they found out that didn't mean anything, the other arrow gave Trump COVID and 11 other people. They were all tested with swabs. How do you know one of those swabs wasn't infected with a virus? I wouldn't put it past them. This is like a Bond movie. Trump is like James Bond, and Nancy is like the evil doctor in underneath the volcano petting a cat, going, "Set out another arrow." It makes me wonder what's the next arrow? What are they going to go after next? Look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if I was, Trump represents freedom. Don't let the government control you. And the same thing with all this racism bullcrap. It's bullcrap. It's a narrative. And if you don't say Black Lives Matter, you must be a racist. And they go after you. That's control. They want to control your freedoms, your freedom to not get involved, right? How many corporations were bullied into making sure they put Black Lives Matter on their website so they wouldn't be boycotted or their stores wouldn't be burned down? You have to say Black Lives Matter. Oh, well, I choose not to say anything. No, violence, violence silence is violence. I forgot what their term was. Silence is racism. If you don't say something, your silence is racism. You're not allowed to say nothing. We have no freedom to say nothing. We have to say something, and we have to agree with the mob. Because if we don't, if we disagree, they'll just kill us. But if we say nothing, we're just as bad because silence is guilt. I forgot what the fucking phrase is that they use. They're so stupid. Vote Trump if you want to keep your freedoms because these Democrats, these socialists, I love Biden. I'm not a socialist. Do I look like a socialist? I'm fighting against socialism. And Bernie Sanders just announced when the Senate comes back Democratic, he's running healthcare. So he's the king of the socialists. Kamala Harris is fought more left than Bernie. These people are socialists. They want all government. They want no freedom for the American people. They want to dictate to you. And if you don't listen to them, you're racist or you don't care about people's health. It's disgusting. Vote for Trump. This is the most important election of our lifetime. We deserve our freedom. This is America, the land of the free. I want to keep it that way. Thank you. Rant over.